Aloha. My name is Ameera Mer Healer. I am an incarnated mer being living on the beautiful island of Kauai. Thank you for tuning in to the first of a series of videos that Spirit has asked me to create, speaking to the Great Kingdom of Atlantis and of course, the Mer World. So what is an incarnated mer being? An incarnated mer being means that my soul lineage, um, is a mer being. I am literally a mer person who has incarnated into human form. So to some of you, that might sound a little startling or a little like, what the heck? And some of you listening to me might also be feeling, wow, I feel like I am also a mer being incarnated into human form. So from whatever perspective that you are coming from, it's all good. If this is brand new information for you that this could be possible, then that's fine. All of our souls are from somewhere else. We all exist in many other realms and realities. Our higher self, our oversoul is enormous. And there are many aspects of us that dwell in other realms and realities simultaneous to this one. And this just happens to be a version of me that is very connected to the Mer realm and to the Mer people that is on assignment to be human for a little while and come forward. And Spirit has given me the great task, the great opportunity to bring the wisdom and the knowledge and the philosophy of the Mer people, the Mer world, and the Great Kingdom of Atlantis forward back into this reality to help people understand a little bit more about this thing we're doing called ascension. And the phrase that I like to use, that I've been using for many, many years, is Atlantis is rising. Atlantis is once again rising from the depths of the sea, which is really a synonym for our unconscious. From the depths of our unconscious, the depths of our subconscious, back into conscious form and also back into physical form. Aquaman right now is a really popular movie, came out last month. And, you know, when they started speaking to and announcing as a tagline that Atlantis is rising, of course, I got very, very excited because that's been my mantra for many, many years now. On Kauai, I host retreats regularly. Bring groups of people to the island to explore, to have fun, to adventure, to grow and evolve spiritually on this beautiful island. And I've actually had retreats entitled Atlantis is Rising. So it's a drum I've been beating for a very, very long time. And to see it made manifest in the collective conscious through a movie that was one of the highest grossing of all time is very exciting to me. Because what it tells me is that the collective is ready to embody the truth or embody the reality that this realm known as Atlantis and also Lemuria really do exist, not only as a story in our unconscious or myth, but as a reality, as a truth. And I believe that all of us on this planet right now have had at least one incarnation in Atlantis, probably more than that. And some of you listening to me probably really know and understand and feel very connected to the Great Kingdom of Atlantis, and you may or may not know exactly why, but you just really know and resonate with this culture and this community and this beautiful, exquisite land where God sent many, many beings to come down with fifth dimensional consciousness and exist in third dimensional form and see if they could retain, their connection to spirit. Atlantis was a great experiment. And during this series of videos, I'm going to be speaking directly from my remembrance, what I've channeled from spirit, and also what I have learned through past life regression therapy. I'm an advanced level past life regression therapist. And so those of you who have maybe been into past lives, which are really simultaneous lives, because we exist in many realms simultaneously, and journeyed with me, or maybe journeyed with somebody else, you have probably touched on these other realms and these other realities that we exist in simultaneously that are important to our soul for our soul evolution in this lifetime. So in this series of videos, and I did a few other videos several years back before I moved to Kauai, and Spirit has asked me to step back up and continue to record and continue to speak and teach and prepare the collective on whatever scale that I can for the actual literal return of the new Atlantis, which is basically the new Earth that that we are creating together collectively, the fifth dimension. And so I'm just going to start by backtracking a little bit and speaking to the 6-year cycle that we just completed, culminating really with the full moon eclipse on the 21st of January. But the beginning of the end was really on the 12/12 gateway of 2018. During the 12/12 gateway, we entered into kind of a completion or a conclusion phase of this 6-year cycle that we've all been running through. Went through the solstice, which closed the 12/12 gateway, but also over the next 30 days through the equinoxes, not the equinoxes, the eclipses that happened, like the 7th and the 21st. That really, those two episodes really brought to fruition or conclusion the end of the 6-year cycle, not only the end, but the beginning of a new cycle. And with the completion of that 6-year cycle, you probably felt, you may have felt many things in your life completing or finishing up. Relationships, situations, beliefs. And I can speak from my experience that after we went through that final eclipse, the lunar eclipse on January 21st, 2019, I had cleared so many situations and paradigms and relationships and beliefs that had been brought forward to me over the past 6 weeks or 6 years, and really especially over, the past couple of years. Those were brought so definitively and palpably into conclusion that I really did wake up after that eclipse. And I felt different. I felt brand new. I felt like my past had been resolved and even in a way dissolved. Like I was looking at it from the outside in, like it happened, almost like it happened to somebody else. And my frequency, my vibration, everything I felt, my emotional state was much, much different. And working with my clients and in my community, that seems to have been a theme for a lot of people. That those of us who have been doing our work, our inner work, and awake and aware and really, really looking to joy and looking to passion and purpose as a soul-led life, are beginning to reap the benefits of all the work and all the foundations that we have laid to bring forward the new Atlantean paradigm, the fifth dimensional Earth, which means, we're always going to have challenges. Humans will always have challenges. We will always have growth. We'll always have to experience contrast in some form to learn and grow and find out what we really want. But I really do believe that we have kind of crossed over this rainbow bridge where we are going to begin to life and life experiences and creating and actualizing our creations are going to become much, much easier. It's just a different frequency now that we are residing in. That is much different than the frequency and the vibrations and the lessons, experiences that we came through for 6 years and before that. So congratulations to all of us. And if you're watching this video, probably you are resonating with what I'm saying in some way or form. So there's waves of us. Basically, there's waves of us that are coming into completion and kind of opening the doors. You see the beautiful doorways behind me, the golden archways for ascension, for evolution. And what we are doing doesn't mean that we are maybe more special or better than anybody else. It just means that we are the first wave of souls that agreed to come through this completion point that will ultimately give ripple effect to all our brothers and sisters and to all those that are working their way forward, either in this incarnation or maybe in future incarnations. So if you're watching this video and resonating with some or all of what I'm saying, hopefully this will give words or give your left brain some satisfaction, some understanding of the process we're going through, of what's happening. I like to break things down and explain them as simply as possible. I feel like if you can't explain it to somebody simply, like I like people to explain things to me like I'm a kindergartner, so I can just really get it and understand it. So I like to break things down very simply so that people's left brain can kind of relax into the energy and to what the right brain is trying to assimilate. We need that as humans. We just kind of need that balance. We need the right brain, the creativity, the openness, the feeling, the emotions, but then the left brain wants some explanation and wants to know what's happening. So that's a little synopsis of what Spirit has told me is happening, that we have now really literally entered into the paradigm that we've been hearing so much about for years and years and years. We really have stepped fully into fifth dimensional actualizing, which means that we no longer reside in, victimhood or blame or self-sabotage, and that we take responsibility for our thoughts, our words, our actions, and we understand that we don't have to live in those old stories. And even if you've gone through some really, really difficult struggles, and relationships, because let's face it, everything is about relationships with others, right? Even if you have gone through some really, really difficult, trying circumstances, you are finding that you have transcended much of that. That you have tuned your true north and your soul, your heart and soul, to trusting Spirit and staying the course so deeply that now all those situations are kind of like been released from your field. And we no longer have to tether to or stay connected to those old stories or those old versions of ourselves, even though some of those people in those situations might literally still be in existence around us. It really just has started to feel like we are walking on a new earth, that we are walking in with, like, somebody described it to me like there's a very thin piece of plastic between us and this other reality, that we've really crossed through the veil to the other side. So if you're resonating with what I'm saying, congratulations. If you have no idea what I'm saying, then here's a little bit of a catch up for you. And hearing my words and hearing me talk about Atlantis and the new Atlantis being birthed, a new earth coming forward, will probably trigger you or allow you to start feeling into these new earth energies and this new paradigm that everybody seems to be talking about a little bit easier. Going to make this video not such a long one. This is just an introduction to what's to come. So what is to come? I'm going to talk very deeply about the fall of Atlantis and tell you the truth in future videos about what really happened during the fall of Atlantis. Atlantis was a great experiment, and it was not a failure, like we have been told. And part of my job, part of my mission, is to rewrite the spirals of time in the collective beliefs system about what we consciously or unconsciously think happened in Atlantis and Lemuria, to rewrite that so we can create a brand new paradigm free of those traumatic beliefs. Free of the trauma that some of us have brought forward from having been alive as Atlantis took its fall. We'll also be talking in depth about the Mer people, the Mer Kingdom, Merlantis, as it was called, and our role, the Mer people's role back then, and our role in the collective today. Plus many, many other things that will come forward, channelings and things, speaking to the Great Kingdom of Atlantis and the spiral of time that we have entered, where we are making corrections and adjustments and creating something brand new for all of us. So Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to do my best to get a video out at least once a week. So if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel under Ameera Beth, that's great. Or if you'd like to subscribe, thank you. You can find me on Facebook also under Ameera Beth Mer Healer. I'm going to be holding a training course in a couple of weeks in February called The Atlantean Art of Self-Healing, which is a 13 chakra and aura training healing for yourself, and talking about the wisdom of the Great Kingdom of Atlantis in this training course based on sovereignty. So you can find me on Facebook. You can find my website at ameerabeth.com. And if you'd like to reach out to me personally for a healing session, I do past life regression therapy, energetic clearing called the Sacred Touch of Atlantis, and lots of other cool stuff. So if you see something on there that calls to you, don't feel free to hit me up. Again, thank you for watching, and this video series will be continued soon. Aloha.